boy Hi-Fi Vega back again, and this time we're gonna check out how to auto timeline and manual timeline the Pioneer 80 PRS. I pulled these clips out of some older videos that you may or may not have seen, but we're going to start off in the Suburban where we go through the auto time alignment process and then a little bit of EQ work using a basic little Dayton IMM6 mic and an iPad. And then we go into the Mazda 6, which is an older video, and I show you how I manually timeline that with the same 80 PRS. The Mazda 6 video is a little bit older, so the background music is a little loud and the voice is a little low. So I'm sorry for that, but there's some good information in there, and I hope you guys enjoy it. What I'm going to start off with is I'm going to use this little feature called Auto TA, and it's the 80 PRS can come through and it can auto timeline everything. Now, I've used this before, and the time alignment actually works really well. I don't really like the EQ, so I'm gonna go back and do that. But the thing that I have noticed about the time alignment is the numbers will be way off from what I actually measure. But it sounds decent to my ear. It sounds right, you know, centered. Okay, now this setup's gonna be a little bit different because I'm actually running a passive setup. Now they're bi-amped, so I've got my tweeter and my mid very close together, so those two will get time aligned together as well as these. Now here's the tricky part. I've got the left sub facing this way and the right sub facing this way. It's going to throw off the time alignment a little bit, but I'm hoping this auto TA will kind of help fix that. So I'm gonna go ahead and set everything up, and then I'll set up a tripod so you guys could be inside the car and see what it sounds like. Okay, so I've got my mic plugged in. I've got it roughly at head level. Now all I got to do is start the auto EQ. Okay, here's the countdown. Here we go. Auto EQ done its thing, and I've already listened to it, and it actually did a really good job. So I'm going to run you through some of the things that it changed here. It actually had set my level at -6 on the front, and I adjusted that back up to 0 dB because I've already listened to it and kind of tested it out. And then it had the rear set at 100 Hertz. I set that back to 63. And the auto EQ, yeah, the auto EQ is actually terrible, so I turned that off immediately, and I'll get to that in a minute, what we're going to do for that part. So when we come over here to time alignment, I got it set in the auto EQ position, front left. So it's got the front right at 72.5 inches. And when I measure that to the same spot that I put the mic, we're actually about 59 inches. And now the rear right, which is tricky, which would be this speaker right here, it's got it at 160 inches. So I imagine the sound's reflecting off here somewhere and then coming back up. And I actually measured that and I got like 85 inches. The thing is, I've listened to this and the image is actually really nice, so I'm not going to be changing any of that. Even though where it's reading is off from where it actually is, it sounds good enough that I'm going to leave it. Here's what we're going to do for the EQ. I've got my iPad here set up with an RTA app, and I've got this little Dayton IMM6 mic, and I've got the calibrated file loaded onto here, so everything's ready to go. Once I put the pink noise on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the truck, and then I've got it set right now with 3-second decay, but I'll probably switch over here to this average, so I'll get an average of what my system's doing. Now, when I do this test, I'm going to be holding the iPad up about head level where my listening position would be. So I'm going to go ahead and get this test started, and I'll come back and I'll show you what the EQ looked like with pink noise, and then we'll go in and we'll change everything. I took an average with the sub off, And you can see I'm low right here, but obviously the sub's not in there right now. I've got some peaks right here, and then it peaks up a little right here. So what I'm gonna try to do is, I'm not gonna add anything to this. I'm gonna try to subtract and just smooth out this curve to get it the way I like it. As you can see on the ADPRS, I've only got 13 bands to work with. I'm gonna start somewhere in this 80, probably 100 hertz. Oops. Alright, 125. I definitely need to come down some on 125. Then it looks like right around 700 hertz and 1K I've got a peak. So I'm gonna come up here. That's where I'm at with a little bit of adjusting. I still got some peaks here and here. I'm still high up in this range. But the problem is I don't really have all the bands to control each one individually, so I got to get as close as I can. Alright, both amps have been set with the DD-1, so now we're on to the adjustments. Now this is going to be different depending on what you use. If you're using a DSP, it's going to be all on computer. I'll just walk you through this process in the 80. Right now I've got every level set to flat, and they're all at a 12 dB slope. Now we're going to get into time alignment. Time alignment, I've already set this. This ADPRS, it makes you choose a front left or a front right whenever you're setting it up. So I went ahead and chose front left, driver position. Now I go into custom, so I've got it set to custom. Now I'm going to come over to time alignment and start making my adjustments. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your tape measure and you're going to measure from the center of the speaker neck up to your ear. You're going to want to add about 1 inch because of the depth of the speaker behind the door. Now I've already done this for all these. You're going to want to repeat the process with both tweets and the mids, and if you choose the subwoofer. As you can see through here, 48 inches on the right tweet. Oops. Left tweet, 41 inches. 46 inches on the left mid. 55 inches on the right mid. And 61 inches on both the tweets. Or, I'm sorry, on both the subwoofers. Shout out to all my Patreon supporters, but I want to give a special shout out to the $6 or more members: 2001 Monolithic, The Third Era, G Nava, Joaquin Juarez, Paul Smith, Byron Chambliss, The Karate Guy, Jason Zemer, Travis McClendon, Brandon Hanna, William Berg, Boxboy Audio Sound Solutions, and Jesus Tires. For as little as $2 a month, you can join the team and get exclusive Patreon-only content not available on YouTube. So if you want to help your boy out, check me out at patreon.com/Hi-Fi Vega.